Have you ever noticed that some men don't just dislike you, they want to tear you down? They don't confront you openly or argue fairly, but quietly sow doubt, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They work tirelessly behind the scenes to see you fall. But what if I told you that the moment you stop falling for their traps, they begin to lose their grip? These men don't just resent you, they burn to destroy you, like a smoldering fire spreading beneath the surface, ready to ignite. That moment might start with just a faint wisp of smoke, barely noticeable. But when you see the flames, they've already consumed everything in their path. Picture a vulture circling high above, not attacking or striking directly, but patiently waiting, hoping for your collapse. That's how they operate, not with open assaults, but with calculated destruction. While they plot, you have a choice: fall into their trap or rise above their schemes. And when you refuse to play their game, their frustration begins to surface. When you stop engaging in their game, their plans start to unravel. So how do you spot these men before they cause real harm? Not with fear, paranoia, or self-doubt. Stay patient and watch until the end of this video, because the final part will change everything. Let's begin. First, they spread lies to tarnish your reputation. Let's talk about one of the most vicious and deliberate tactics of your enemies. They intentionally smear you. These aren't harmless rumors or casual gossip. This is a calculated attack. They don't just harbor silent resentment. They want others to turn against you. They distort the truth, exaggerate your flaws, and paint a completely false picture of who you are. The reality is, those who spread lies don't just aim to hurt your reputation. They want to isolate you, weaken your influence, and ensure others can't see your true worth. They know that once people doubt your character, you'll face an uphill battle to regain trust. That's exactly what they want, to leave you feeling powerless, alone, and constantly on the defensive. This is where Stoic wisdom shines. Epictetus said, "Character is destiny. Guard your character at all costs." No matter how many lies they spread, your true character will always shine through if you stand firm and stay consistent. Let me share a story about a man I know. Call him Daniel. He was a respected leader at work, diligent, building strong relationships and earning his place through integrity. But one day, a jealous colleague started spreading false stories about him, claims that Daniel succeeded only through favoritism, not talent. At first, Daniel wanted to fight back, to confront every lie and clear his name. But then he realized something vital. The best defense isn't confronting liars, but living as the man his supporters know him to be. And you know what? Over time, the truth came to light. The people who mattered saw through the lies, and the colleague who tried to smear Daniel's name ended up losing trust and credibility. Lies are fleeting. But caractère endure. So how do you handle those who spread falsehoods about you? First, stay calm. Emotional reactions only give them more fuel to twist. Second, let your actions speak louder than their words. Keep being the man you are, and the truth will reveal itself. Third, don't get dragged into their game. Protect yourself when needed, but don't waste energy convincing those who've already chosen to misunderstand you. Your reputation, built over years, can't be erased by a few false stories. Stay true to your character, and let their lies collapse under the weight of truth, for integrity always endures. Second, they manipulate your emotions. Let's discuss one of the most cunning tactics of your enemies. They don't just resent you, they aim to control and break you by toying with your emotions. Unlike overt hostility, emotional manipulation is subtle, calculated, designed to erode you from within. They don't attack directly but use guilt, fear, and shame as weapons to undermine your confidence and make you question your own reality. At first, you might not even notice its manipulation. They might feign concern, saying things like, "I'm just worried about you," or "You don't seem like yourself lately," or they'll guilt trip you over things you shouldn't apologize for. Like, "After all I've done for you, this is how you act." Over time, these subtle mind games chip away at your self-worth, making you doubt yourself, your choices, and your emotions. That's their goal, to make you seek their approval, depend on their validation, and slowly lose control. They don't want to help you, they want to break you, so you lean on them from that moment on. The moment you start questioning yourself, craving their validation, they've already won. You're trapped in a cycle where they create insecurity. Then, act like they're the only ones who can fix it. This is where Stoic wisdom anchors you. Epictetus said, "He who masters his emotions masters his fate." What does this mean? It means the second you stop letting them manipulate your feelings, you reclaim your power. Their words only hold sway if you give them permission. The stronger you stand emotionally, the less they can control your mind. Let me tell you about a man I know. Call him Ryan. He had a so-called friend who constantly played with his emotions. Whenever Ryan made choices that didn't align with this person's wishes, they'd guilt him with lines like, "I guess I'm not important to you anymore." Or when Ryan focused on his own goals, they'd say, "You've changed. You're not the man I knew." At first, Ryan felt guilty, questioning if he was being selfish, doubting his own path. But then he woke up. He saw the pattern. This person only had an issue when Ryan didn't prioritize them. So how do you deal with emotional manipulators? First, recognize the signs. If someone constantly makes you feel guilty, afraid, or ashamed for your choices, that's manipulation. Second, stop seeking their approval. You don't need their permission to live your life. Finally, master your emotions. The less you react, the less power they hold. Manipulation only works if you let others control how you feel. The moment you take back your mind, their game falls apart. Stay resilient. Trust yourself. And never let anyone define your worth. If this resonates, hit like and subscribe for more insights. Third, they provoke you to ruin your image. Let's talk about one of the most insidious and dangerous tactics of those who don't just dislike you, they want to destroy you. They deliberately push you to react emotionally, painting you as unstable or irrational. This isn't random, it's a carefully set trap. They want you to lose control, to snap, because that's when they win. It starts small, passive-aggressive jabs, subtle provocation, or humiliating you in front of others. You try to ignore it, but they keep poking, targeting your weaknesses, waiting for you to break. When you finally react, they strike, framing you as the aggressor. They step back, playing innocent, casting themselves as the victim. The truth is, this isn't about conflict, it's about control. They don't care about the argument. They want to shape how others see you. They aim to tarnish your reputation, making you seem erratic, unreasonable, or even dangerous. The more you fight back, the more power they gain over your image. This is where Stoic wisdom steps in. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to not become like your enemy." What does this mean? It means the most powerful response to provocation is self-mastery. When someone tries to rile you up, the strongest move is to deny them what they want. Silence, composure, and refusing to engage are your true victories. Let me share a story about a woman I know. Call her Sarah. She had a colleague who constantly undermined her. He'd make rude remarks in meetings, dismiss her ideas, and even steal her credit. After weeks of enduring it, Sarah finally snapped, calling him out in front of the team, her voice sharper than usual. Instantly, he played the victim, calmly saying, "Wow, Sarah, I don't know why you're so aggressive." The room went silent. No one recalled his provocations, just her outburst. But Sarah learned. Instead of reacting, she started observing. Each time he tried to provoke her, she stayed calm. And you know what he unraveled? Unable to twist the narrative without her reaction. Over time, people saw his true nature, a manipulator exposed. So how do you handle provocateurs? First, spot the trap. If someone's pushing for a reaction, that's your cue to step back. Second, control your emotions. They can't shape your reputation if you stay composed. Finally, let your actions speak over their words. When you refuse to stoop to their level, their attempts to sabotage you collapse. Your reputation isn't built in moments of anger. It's forged through consistency. When someone tries to provoke you, remember, silence is stronger than their words. And self-mastery is more powerful than any manipulation. Stay calm, stay focused, and never let them write your story. Fourth, they pose as allies to gather information. Let's talk about one of the most deceptive tactics of those who don't just dislike you. They're plotting against you. They pretend to be your friend, not out of care, but to gain access to your thoughts, plans, and vulnerabilities. At first, they seem genuinely invested in your life, asking about your goals, struggles, and what matters most to you. They listen just enough to earn your trust. But the truth is, they're not collecting memories, they're gathering ammunition. Their aim isn't to support you, but to weaponize your words against you. They might twist your confidences, expose your vulnerabilities at the worst moment, or simply bide their time, waiting for the perfect chance to strike. This is where Stoic wisdom guides you. Epictetus said, "Don't reveal everything about yourself to everyone, for not all have good intentions." This means not every smile is an ally, not every listener cares, and not every question deserves an answer. Let me tell you about a woman named Rachel. She had a colleague who always acted like her biggest supporter, asking about her career plans, her frustrations at work, and even her personal life. Rachel thought he was just being friendly, but one day she overheard him relaying her words to their boss, twisted to make her look bad. He wasn't a friend, he was a spy. So how do you handle those who pretend to be allies? First, be selective with your trust. Not everyone who listens truly cares. Second, test their intentions by sharing small, inconsequential details and watching their reaction. If they gossip or distort, you've got your answer. Finally, keep your deepest thoughts guarded. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. True allies don't need to pry into your secrets. If someone's overly curious about your life but shares nothing of their own, see it as a warning. Protect your words, your plans, and above all, yourself. If this video speaks to you, hit like to help it reach more men and subscribe for more valuable insights. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'll respond. Fifth, they try to isolate you from your allies. Let's talk about one of the most dangerous tactics of those who don't just resent you, they want to ruin you. They work to cut you off from those who stand by you. This isn't accidental, it's a calculated strategy. They don't just want to hurt you, they want to sever ties with anyone who might defend, uplift, or remind you of your worth. It starts subtly. They plant doubts about you with small remarks. Like, "I don't know. Something's off with him lately." Or they twist situations to make you seem unreliable or disloyal. They spin false narratives, whisper half-truths behind your back, and their strategy works gradually. You notice people pulling away, acting distant, or looking at you with suspicion. Their goal isn't just to harm your reputation, it's to leave you without allies. When you're alone, with no one to support you, you're easier to manipulate, weaken, or break. They know isolation is a weapon that makes you vulnerable, and that's exactly what they want. This is where Stoic wisdom shines. Seneca said, "Surround yourself only with those who make you better. Your strength lies in the company you keep." True allies see through the schemes and stand by you. Those who don't will believe the lies and drift away. Either way, you'll know who's truly on your side. Let me share a story about a woman named Emily. She was thriving in her career, with strong relationships and a tight-knit group of friends who supported her. But a toxic colleague started spreading rumors about her. At first, it was small, seemingly harmless comments. "Emily's been acting strange. Hasn't she or I heard she's been talking behind your back?" Slowly, people began to distance themselves, giving her wary glances, and she couldn't figure out why. Instead of crumbling, Emily held her ground. She didn't beg for acceptance or chase explanations. She focused on those who truly knew her. And over time, the truth came out. The manipulator's lies unraveled, and those who valued Emily returned. True bonds can't be broken by gossip. So, how do you counter those trying to isolate you first? Stay vigilant and recognize when someone's working against you. Sixth, they plant seeds of doubt to undermine your confidence. Let's discuss one of the most insidious tactics of those who don't just dislike you, they want you to fail. They sow doubt in your mind, making you question your abilities and worth. It starts subtly, disguised as advice or constructive criticism, but you soon see a pattern every step forward you take. They pull you back, too. Their aim isn't to help you grow, it's to erode your resolve, to make you hesitate. Their goal is to make you second-guess every choice, to hesitate before every step. Because the moment you doubt yourself, they've gained control. They've won when you start questioning your own worth. This is where Stoic wisdom grounds you. Marcus Aurelius said, "You are troubled not by things, but by the views you take of them." This means their words and actions only have power if you let them define you. Your response, not their attacks, shapes who you are. If someone tries to shake your confidence, their words don't determine your ability, your reaction does. Let me tell you about Jake, a man I know who started his own business. He was driven, excited, and ready to take risks. But a so-called friend kept planting doubts, Are you sure you're ready for this, or most businesses fail? You know. At first, Jake brushed it off, but those words started creeping into his mind, making him question every decision. He began to wonder, am I good enough? What if I fail? Those doubts weren't his, they were planted. That's exactly what his friend wanted. But Jake chose differently. Instead of letting doubt take over, he reminded himself that confidence isn't something others can steal unless you surrender it. He ignored the negativity, trusted his path, and pushed forward. His business thrived, and that friend suddenly silent. So how do you handle those who try to undermine your confidence? First, recognize the pattern. If their words make you doubt yourself more than they inspire, it's not support, it's sabotage. Second, trust in your own abilities. Your path and potential aren't defined by their opinions. Finally, tune out the noise. Don't seek validation from those who don't want you to succeed. Your confidence is your strongest shield. When someone tries to break your resolve, it's because they see your strength and fear what you can achieve. Stand firm. Believe in your path. And don't let their doubts become yours. If this resonates, leave a comment, hit like, and support this video. It helps me keep sharing these lessons. Seventh, they won't stop until you're broken. Let's talk about the most extreme form of resentment, when someone doesn't just want you to struggle, they want you obliterated. This isn't petty jealousy or minor grudges. Their end game isn't just to dislike you, it's to destroy you. They don't want you to succeed, to share their space, or to exist as you are. They want you defeated, diminished, or gone entirely. It might start with small rivalries, belittling you, spreading rumors, or slowing your progress. But over time, you see it's deeper. Every move they make is calculated to wear you down. They revel in your setbacks, twist the truth, and aim to exhaust you mentally. If they can't control you, they'll attack your reputation. If they can't ruin your name, they'll try to drain you until you give up. Their true aim isn't just to see you lose, it's to see you surrender, to watch you crumble, to make you doubt yourself until you're a shadow of who you were. Your strength threatens them, and your resilience is their problem. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes your anchor. Seneca said, "True strength is enduring hardship without losing virtue." Your real power lies not in fighting back, but in standing firm when they want you to break. Your greatest weapon is refusing to fall. They can spread lies, isolate you, or push you to the edge. But if you remain steadfast, they lose. Let me tell you about Daniel, a man targeted by a jealous colleague. This colleague did everything: spread rumors, sabotaged opportunities, turned others against him. There were moments Daniel felt like giving up, but he remembered strength isn't about retaliation. It's about endurance. He stayed true to himself, kept his focus, and refused to let their actions define him. In the end, the colleagues' own schemes unraveled, and their credibility collapsed. So how do you face someone who won't stop until you're broken? First, don't play their game. They thrive on your emotional reactions. Second, stay on your path. The more energy you give them, the stronger they become. Finally, endure without surrendering. Your resilience is your statement. The only way they win is if you give up. Don't give them that satisfaction. Stay strong and watch them destroy themselves. If this speaks to you, hit like and subscribe for more insights. First, refuse to play their game. They feed on your emotional outbursts. Second, stay committed to your path. Every ounce of energy you give them strengthens their hold. Finally, persevere without surrender. Your resilience speaks louder than their schemes. They only win if you break. Don't grant them that victory. Stand firm and watch them unravel under the weight of their own malice. If this resonates, hit like and subscribe for more hard-earned wisdom.